Good morning, everyone. I have an idea for a project that I want to make this month. I actually had this idea a couple weeks ago. I don't know how long ago it was at this point. And I really want to make a pair of hot dog themed jeans. Now, hear me out. I know that sounds ridiculous. And I have like an ongoing bit about hot dogs over on my Instagram. And like my friends know me as their hot dog friend. But I think this is going to be really cute. A couple months ago, I got this really beautiful cream colored denim. It's Merchant & Mills. I bought it at Sobo in Boulder, Colorado, which I actually used to work there. I don't anymore, but I bought it there and I loved it. Originally, I wanted to create a pair of jeans with contrast color top stitching. And I think originally I was thinking maybe purple, and then red is like one of my favorite colors. So I was like, oh, like what if I do red top stitching? And then somewhere along the way, I was like, well, what if I actually made them into like hot dog themed jeans? So my vision here is white jeans, straight leg. I'm going to use the Helene jean pattern, and I am going to do yellow top stitching for most of the details. So I feel like yellow, it's not like too out there and in your face. But I also have a checkerboard stitch on my sewing machine that I want to use to add some like red checkerboards along some of maybe the pocket hems. So that's kind of my vision. And then on the back pockets, I want to embroider a little hot dog, and I might do like a mustard bottle on the other pocket. And if I can figure out how to do it, I'd actually want the mustard, maybe even ketchup, I don't know, but I want it to be coming out of the bottle and like write something on the back pocket. So that's the vision, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. Eventually, I also want to make a shirt, not necessarily like matching, but I bought this fabric to go with the pants. So to make like a crop top out of this, maybe I will also use this as the pocket linings. Not that the pocket linings need to match, but I think it's kind of fun if they do. And I know this video isn't about this shirt or jacket, but this is the pogo knit pullover. I just finished sewing it the other day. It doesn't have buttons yet, so it just kind of opens in the front, but eventually there'll be 1, 2, 3 buttons, but it is cute and it is pretty comfortable. It's super lightweight, so I kind of just like wearing it around my apartment right now. Okay, so I finished the coin pocket. Originally, I wanted to do like 1 stitch in yellow here and then do the red checkerboard stitch immediately under it, but I was really having trouble with the stitching. I kept hitting snags or my fabric would get caught, so I'm gonna have to find another way to do this, but I ended up doing 2 rows of yellow stitching and then the red checkerboard under it. So I want to do this on both of the back pockets as well. Okay, so I'm still working on my hot dog jeans. I think I'm going to embroider the pockets. So I am totally going to freehand this. So what I've done is I've drawn on this pocket, essentially what I want to do. So this is a mustard bottle. It's going to be mustard across the back pocket. And then I've also looked at what it's going to look like when I fold it over. So I don't want a lot of the mustard bottles to be visible because like mustard's not that exciting. But that is what it's going to look like. I was going to try to write something on the back, but like with the mustard, and I just didn't think it looked good. I kept doing it over and over again. So that's kind of what the design's gonna look like. It's gonna be rather simple. This one I've actually already put in an embroidery hoop. I'm probably not gonna do the mustard bottle in an embroidery hoop. Should have thought of that before, but this one happened to fit. So this is gonna be the hot dog on the back pocket. So I'm gonna start embroidering this. And then after this is done, I still wanna do a checkerboard stitch across the top right here. And then I will put these on the back of the jeans, and I can actually start the construction of the pants. Okay, so last I had started working on this project, I had run out of yellow top stitching thread and I'd traced the outlines of what I was gonna draw on my jeans. Well, unfortunately, I found out that I actually had drawn them on the wrong side of the pockets. So I did have to undo the top stitching at the top and redo the designs. Now, I originally started hand stitching them using an embroidery hoop. I did hand stitching for all of about 20 seconds, said this is gonna take way too freaking long, and did it on my machine. So the updated designs, I'll start with the mustard. So you can see I did the 2 yellow lines up here, and then there's a red checkerboard there at the top. It's not as even as I'd like it to be, but it's a difficult stitch for me to get very even on my sewing machine, so I'm okay with it. And then of course we have the mustard bottle, which I'm really happy with this design. I feel like it's more noticeable in person. In here it's a little dark, so it's a little bit harder to see. And then we have the hot dog. So I also did the top stitching and yellow and red checkerboard stitch, and then I outlined the shape of the hot dog on my machine and then used a stitch to get this kind of mustard pattern, which I am really happy with how it turned out, and it looks even better when I put it on the back of my jeans. I added one more detail that I also think is pretty fun. I embroidered the waistband. So I did not hand embroider this, I did this on my machine as well, and it says "Bite Me," which I just think is really fun on the back of the jeans. So now that all of that is done, I can finally sew these pockets on the back of the jeans. Everything else is constructed. So now I can finally put these jeans together and finish them. I am so close to done with these jeans, and I have plans, so I have to leave, but I think I might even try finishing them when I get back. I'm going to write at a brewery, and anybody that knows me knows that my traditional system for writing at a brewery is, you know, have a few drinks, makes the words come a little easier, so there's a good chance I will be tipsy when I get home. But I still really want to finish these when I get home. Like I said, they're so close to done. I have the waistband sewn on. I have the belt loops. They're tucked in the waistband, but they're gonna need to be sewn down. Back pockets are on. They look so cute. And then of course I'm gonna need to hem them and add the buttons, but I am so close. Like I can see the finish line, which is sometimes the most frustrating place to be because all I want to do is finish sewing. But I tried them on too, and I feel like they fit better than my other pairs, so maybe I've like finally gotten it down and doing, you know, 3 pairs of Helene jeans before diving into the pair of my dreams was the right order. But so close. I will show the finished product soon. Okay, so the jeans are done. I have finished them. Finished. The one thing I haven't done is tack down the belt loops at the bottom here, but I will be honest, I don't do that on all my jeans. So I don't know, it'll happen at some point, but probably not today because I was too excited to show them off. But they're all hemmed. So just like with the other top stitching, I have yellow stitching here at the bottom for the hem. And let's see, here's the front. So I have a button fly. I prefer button flies to zip flies. One, I don't really like constructing zip flies, but I think button flies just, in my opinion, tend to lay a little better. So I have these red check pockets, which obviously no one's gonna see these, but I think it's fun that they kind of match the vibe of the jean. Front of the jeans, really the only detail up here is the front coin pocket. I have that checkerboard stitch. Now on the back of the jean, I have 2 embroidered pockets. So the waistband is embroidered and it says "Bite Me" across the top, which I thought was really fun. I did this all on my machine. So I drew it, kind of measured where I needed it to be, drew it on the waistband, and basically turned my stitch speed super, super low, and then just kind of like did cursive, I guess. So stitched, there was a lot of putting the needle down and pivoting. I did the same exact things on my pockets as well. So I'll start with the mustard bottle because that one was actually probably the easiest. I just did kind of like a curve design, checkerboard stitch. There's, let's see, the bottle. I know it's kind of dark in my apartment. And then on this other pocket, which I also showed, I did the outline of the hot dog and then used a special stitch to kind of get this mustard design here. I thought about filling them in, but just decided I kind of liked this look a little bit better, and I thought it actually made the jeans a little more wearable. So this is the Helene jean. I've made a couple of these, and I think this pair fits me the best. I think I finally kind of figured out like what I need to do. I also am in love with this denim. So I'm not sure what the weight on this denim is. My guess would be maybe a 10 or 11 ounce denim. It is from Merchant & Mills, which is a very nice brand that's based, I believe, in the UK. But I've used their denim for other projects before, but for whatever reason, this cream colored denim just feels a lot nicer and like wears a lot nicer, and it feels almost a little heavier. So I wonder if it is a little bit heavier than the other denim fabrics that I got. I will do a try on of these so that you can see what they look like, but I am just, this is exactly what I wanted when I was envisioning these jeans. I have like a little tag here, it says you can't buy this, but yeah, exactly what I wanted when I made these. So I'm so happy with how they turned out, and now if I wanted to, I can dress in head to toe hot dogs. I've got a hat, I've got a necklace, earrings, I have multiple shirts. I now have these pants. I have a pair of hot dog socks that I've knit, and I think I also have a hot dog purse, so can literally do head to toe hot dogs. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna be able to get the full jean in the shot, but I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. So anyway, here are the fit of the jeans. So I made these in a size 12, which is what I always make for the Helene jean. Now, Anna Allen Clothing also makes the Persephone pants, where I made a size 10 last time, but arguably I could have gone up to a size 12. So as we can see, here are the details on the coin pocket. And then there is one back pocket. This is the mustard bottle back pocket. And then let me flip around to the other side. Here is the hot dog side, and then it says "Bite Me" on the waistband. So that's what those look like. And then just so we can see more of the jean, I'll back up a little bit. Here's how they look. And then here's how they look in the back. I'll flip around to the other side as well. So anyway, this is one of the more creative and fun projects I think I've worked on to date, and I'm just really excited with how they turned out. So it's always fun when you're working on a project and you can see the vision coming together and it's exactly what you want it to be. So if you have anything that you are working on right now that is inspiring you, I'd love to hear about it. And I don't know, I'm excited for the next kind of bigger project that I decide to take on.